What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and I wanted to make a video regarding a segment from last night's stream where DSP actually tried to complete the June the King documentary on the quartering, and of course, your typical DSP did everything extremely slow and did not get to finish. That's right, but there was one segment where I was just like flabbergasted when he was talking about it, and that was regarding the quartering swatting. And of course, just like everything that DSP does whenever he's reacting to anything, he has to make it all about himself. Of course, he did the same thing with the swatting. He started talking about his swatting and wanted to quickly show the differences. That's right, the differences between what he said last night versus his reaction to when he was swatted. And again, it's another example of DSP being a lying scumbag and just being untruthful. And like I always say with DSP, you know, if you really want to know what the truth is, just wait a while. The story will evolve to the point where you'll actually get the truth or something, a facsimile of the actual truth. And we kind of got that last night. But I do want to highlight and call out the fact that he was acting like a maniacal girl, when it happened. And of course, we all know he did this because he wanted to, make it seem like all the trolls were evil, dastardly people, and that they should all be locked up. Yeah, they should be all locked up. Whether you downloaded a video of his or whether you committed an actual crime, you should be lumped up in the same cell and locked up forever in DSP's, according to DSP's logic. So I want to play this clip from last night where he's actually doing the review. This is the segment from the podcast where he is talking about the swatting, and then of course I want you to hear what he's saying here and then compare it to what he said several years ago when it happened to him. So let's get into it.
Jeremy, the first time he's ever been swatted, which maybe it is, did he warn his local law enforcement that something like this was becoming more rampant on the internet and it could happen? At the moment I moved out here to Washington State in 2014, I called my local PD and I told them, I'm a streamer. This is starting to happen more increasingly. I think it may happen to me. I want you to know this is going to be likely a prank, even though it shouldn't be. And then when they got the call, yes, they came in with all the people in the SWAT team, but they actually kind of expected it to be fake. And they were careful, but they treated it as such. They didn't cuff me. They didn't throw me to the ground or anything like that. They just asked myself and my ex to leave. And they just stood next to us in the street, checked the house, said, okay, it's all nonsense. And they just rolled out and left. It wasn't even like it was a 5-minute conversation with them about, okay, do you know anyone who would have done this? I have trolls all over the world. I have no idea who did it. Okay, that's all we can do. Bye. And that was it. That was the end of it. So this, to me, sounds like his local PD had no idea this kind of thing ever happens. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? This was what, 2022? At this point, 7 years removed from mine, and it is way more common. I'm just going to say this. Anyone out there who is an internet live streamer who gets any kind of notoriety or any kind of infamy, if you get into internet feuds with people or people don't like you, do yourself and your local PD the favor, call them and say, listen, I'm not trying to start any problems, but I want to let you know I'm an internet creator and streamer. There's people that this has happened to a ton across the country. I just want to let you know, likely if someone calls it's fake, that way you got the heads up. That way they don't come full steam ahead, knocking down doors, breaking knees, thinking that they're trying to save someone's life. Okay? Sounds like he didn't do that, and that's why this happened. Or maybe it was an overzealous cop. We don't know. Okay. Did he had a warning?
Okay, well, the first thing I want to say is I want to preface this with me saying it is not cool to swat anyone. I don't give a shit who it is, whether it's DSP, Jeremy, whoever. It is not cool to swat anyone. So I do not agree with swatting, just simply for the fact that that's first of all, you're wasting resources. Police officer SWAT, you're just wasting resources. Secondly, you're putting those police officers and that SWAT team in danger, along with the person you're swatting, plus any innocent family member that might be there, kids or whatever. So I'm not cool with swatting. If you're cool with swatting, you're a scumbag. Honestly, that's just me personally. So what I'm gonna say here isn't trying to justify swatting. I hope nobody gets that at all. My reaction here specifically to what DSP said last night versus what he said previously about swatting. Okay, that about him getting swatted. That's the only thing I'm talking about. Swatting, bad. Yes, we all agree with that. Doody Streams did not approve of swatting. I did not approve when the quartering was swatted or when DSP himself was swatted. So let me just put that out there. Fine. All right. Hope everyone understands my take on swatting. All right. So He gave Jeremy and the internet some pretty good advice. He essentially said, look, you know, if you're a content creator, you should go to your police force, blah, blah, blah. Let them know who you are. Put it out there just in case your information ever gets doxxed or whatever, and someone decides to swat you. If someone does call something in, you know. Me personally, I've done the same thing. I actually know the police captain in my district. So if there's ever like a call or something like that, I mean, this is another reason why I don't show my face and put my information out there. But if something like that were to happen, I know the police captain, so it'll get routed. And of course, where I live, it's not that big or whatever, so it'll get routed. It should be fine. Not to say that someone wouldn't come to my house, an officer, but it would be on different terms. Let's just say that, okay? So that's some good advice. I get it. But hearing DSP, it almost sounded like, oh, it wasn't a big deal at all. It was perfectly fine. They came to my house. They had me come outside. They asked me a few questions. They went inside to check everything. And then they said, thank you, have a good night. And they left, right? That's what it sounds like. Okay, so it sounds like it really wasn't that big of a deal. And again, I'm not whitewashing or approving of swatting. I'm not doing that. Okay. But it sounds like what DSP is saying here, that it really wasn't that big of a deal. Let's rewind back to 2015 when DSP was swatted. Let's see his reaction and what he had to say there. Because, of course, DSP... first of all, you're an idiot, Phil. You're an idiot because you actually decided to make content off of it. You tried to milk the swatting. The first thing that most people tell you is that if you ever do get swatted, you shouldn't say anything. Because, of course, it exposes the fact that you can be swatted. So what happens is you have more copycat people wanting to do that to you. So you should never expose whether, like, let's put it this way. God forbid I ever get doxxed or whatever, or I get swatted. No one's ever going to know. Because I'm not going to tell anyone. Because, again, you don't put that out there and let your enemies know, or people that dislike you, that they have an impact on you. But, of course, DSP couldn't help himself. He had to milk this for money and sympathy. So this was him back on June 24, 2015. And this is how he made the swatting come off.
And the bottom line is, this is a major crime. This is not a prank. This is not a joke. This is not trolling. This is not criticism. This is attempted murder. That is what...
Okay, woo, that escalated rather quickly now. So we went from idiots online trolling Phil. And again, I don't want to come off like I'm approving of swatting. I disagree with swatting 100%. But again, Phil... You're equating this with someone trying to, you know, he's equating this as someone coming to his house with a gun. That's what he's doing. And that's not what happened here, Phil, okay? And you said to yourself that you gave your police the heads up. And you said to yourself that they came in, they knocked on your door. It wasn't like they broke in. It wasn't like they had a gun to your face. It wasn't like they threatened you or Pandely. That did not happen at all. You had police officers that came, knocked, asked you a few questions, told you to come outside. They surveyed the house and they literally left within 5 minutes. They thanked you and they probably marked their records, and that's probably why you're never swatted ever again, because they probably see that you have a history of that, so they know that if they get a call like that, they won't come out to your house. They might send a patrol officer to look around, but it's not going to be the entire SWAT. Okay, all right, so he's equating swatting with attempted murder. Okay, let's keep going.
Swatting is, because what you're trying to do is disrupt someone's business to the point where they could physically be harmed. I was lucky that I called them ahead of time, right? Now, what if I didn't hear the people outside? They had no advance notice, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm playing the game, right? And I have my headphones on and I didn't hear them screaming. And they come into the house and they bust this door down, and God forbid I swing like this and I say, what the? And they think I have a weapon and I'm dead. And you know what? I would not place a fucking iota of blame on the police.
Sure, Phil. Sure, you would. You would blame everyone and you would sue the police. Don't play these stupid. Don't say these stupid things. Okay. Well, first of all, Pandely was there, Phil. You said that Pandely was there, so she heard the knocking. Whether you heard it too. So again, you're making you're making assumptions, and you're trying to you're trying to put out their hypotheticals of something that didn't happen. So you don't know how it would have turned out. Okay, Phil? And again, I want to highlight the fact that you went to your local police officer when you moved there, or unless you lied about that, and you let them know that you're a content creator and this might happen. And you told us that they came, they knocked, you opened the door, they talked to you for 5 minutes, they surveyed the house, saw nothing was wrong. they thank you, and then they went on their merry way. So again, Phil, and this all comes down to you being an idiot and exposing your docs. You dox your own self. And of course, that's not justifying what happened to Phil, not justifying the swatting. But again, you know, if you're looking for someone to blame, you're partly to blame for this. You were not cautious enough to protect your identity, your information. You decided you wanted to broadcast your life, your story, everything to the internet. And I mean, it's fucked up that happened, but that's some of the, you know, that's some of the repercussions you might face when you do this.
I would not place an iota of blame, because that is their job. That is their job, is to protect citizens. And when you get a call like that and you have to take it seriously, you know, and they think that there's a threat, then I would not blame them. You know, that is not who's at fault. Who's at fault is whoever this despicable excuse of someone who thinks they're a human being, but as of today with their actions have proven they are not a human being. We are evolved. This person never...
Okay, again, this is one person that did that, Phil, but he's going to go on to lump every detractor, every troll, every person who maybe just disliked this video. He's going to lump them all together.
Evolved. This person is some kind of a sub-fucking human who doesn't actually get some kind of a morality in their head. They don't know right from wrong. And therefore, in their head, they thought what they did was just. That's not an evolved, mature human. That's a subhuman. And that's who pulled this today. Because not only just me, you know, I'm talking about me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about me and my personal situation, and my personal safety, and Leanna's personal safety. We're also talking about the personal safety of everyone who lives in this private community, right? Who could have been drawn into a line of fire by some mistake. Some guy watering his fucking lawn, he pulls out a hoe, right? And a cop doesn't know what's going on. We're talking about the wasted time and money that the police came to come by here. We're talking about the safety of the police coming out here and risking their...
Again, I'm not approving of swatting, but this is all hypothetical bullshit.
Their lives bravely to try to protect citizens. We're talking about a lot of fucking factors here. And this is serious. This is not kiddie shit anymore, you know? And you can say as much as you want, all right? That up to this point, that everything that's been thrown against DSP, Phil Burnell, Darkside Phil, DSP right. Gaming, whatever my moniker you want to give me, the king of hate, you could say it was in criticism's sake, it was just in trolling's sake, it was in good humor, it was in jest, maybe it wasn't in even good humor, it was malicious, but this is by far not only the most serious thing, this is the first life-threatening thing that has ever happened to me in regards to YouTube, and it takes it to the next level, all right? And as a human and as someone who, I tell you right now, I'm not going to allow this to stop me or slow me down. I'm not going to sit here all shaken like this, worried about my life or anything like that. I'm going to continue on business as usual like I always have. And I'm not going to let these people fucking get to me, all right? I'm not going to stop streaming. I'm not going to stop uploading videos to YouTube. This changes absolutely nothing about me or anything, because you know what this actually is? It's terrorism. It's using scare tactics to try to change someone so they change their way of life. And I'm not going to give into it. I'm not going to let people, you know, because they're knocking me off the internet and they got cops coming to my house. I'm not going to allow that to change what I want to do and enjoy and have fun. This 7-year ride on YouTube and, you know, live streaming has been an amazing positive change in my life. It gave my life purpose. It gave me something fun that I could do, that I could share with others, and I've gotten so much feedback saying what you do has overwhelmingly positively affected so many people. There's no fucking way that I would stop because of this. God forbid, no, never would something as petty, as fucking pathetic, by this sub-fucking human would I ever let someone like that change me or my life, ever.
So why did you call this... Alright, so what you're saying is that somebody tried to murder you. And even with that, what's more important is you grifting on the internet and e-begging. Okay. Again, this is just nonsense. This is him just trying to garner sympathy. And what he was trying to do here was he was trying to lump all of his detractors, trolls, anyone that even downvoted a video of his, to make them all look evil, so that he was hoping to assuage the internet to liking him again. And he did get a little bit of sympathy initially because, yeah, swatting does suck. But within like a week or two, people started disliking him again because he's just a scumbag. That's just what it is. But again, you know, this is an example of him just grifting. This is another grift. He saw this opportunity as a way to stick it to his detractors, right? And try to garner sympathy and hopefully earn some additional tips. This is what this video was about. It literally was an hour of him just regurgitating nonsense.
So no, it's not gonna change, okay? It's not. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing no matter what.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, Phil. For 18 years, you continue being a scumbag and made people hate you to the point that they would break the law and do this.
A few things that I want to get off my chest before I move on, because within a couple minutes here of me finishing this video, I'm moving on with my life. But I got a few things that I gotta get
by the way, he didn't move on. He's still talking about the swatting to this day.
off my fucking chest right now. And you can agree with me or disagree with me, but now I've earned my fucking time to say this, all right? It's okay, in my opinion, to criticize, to parody, to do things that will make someone positively see something about themselves that maybe could improve or change. And it's a different thing entirely to maliciously attack and to try to degrade, slander, or hurt someone for the sake of doing it. Just for the sake of it, right? I could disagree with someone 1,000,000%.
First of all, Phil, who's going to make that judgment? Again, just because you think that someone disliking you or making a video about you is considered slander, that's who's going to be making this judgment call? Who's going to be the arbiter and the decider of this? Okay.
But I'm not going to go after them. I might think that some of these celebrities that are out there today are some worthless humans, right? They have money for the sake of having money. They're celebrities for the sake of being celebrities. But I'm not going to attack them. I'm not going to stalk them. And I'm not going to do anything negative to them. That's life. That's the human condition. There'll be people who are incredibly lucky, and there'll be people who are incredibly unlucky. And I was very, very...
Just utter not. Let's move it along here. I want to hear the point where he blames...
and try to turn it into something it's not. The reason that I'm called the king of hate is because I'm a very outspoken and honest person. I called it like it is. I don't...
no, you're a scumbag. That's why you're the king of hate.
Fucking sugarcoat anything that I said. Successful at, and I found it. And that's what I do every day now. What I'm fucking good at, because people telling me that I suck and I can't do something. I wouldn't fucking be here. Whether you like me or not, that you're gonna understand where I'm coming from with this. There is criticism, and there is negativity, hate, slander, and a desire to hurt. And
that says the man who calls himself the king of hate. The king of hate.
There is a large difference between them. I'm going to give you an example of someone who I thought, quite honestly, did not like me. I thought that their intention was to hurt me. And after getting to know this person, I respect them greatly as a person, and I actually think that it's one of the most stand-up people that I've ever met on the internet. And I'm gonna give him a shout-out, and he might get pissed off about it, but I'm gonna give him his props. His name is Daz Bullshit. So I put up my forums or whatever.
I'm trying to find the clip. Hold on a second.
Okay, where they think that because they took a video game series or playthrough that I did, and they edit together the times when I failed, which, by the way, most people fail when they play video games. Most people don't fucking record that and then put it on the internet. All right, but you edit those epic fails or whatever, you make a this is how you don't play montage, you edit in some really negative shit that people said about me in the YouTube comments, you slap it and wow, this is funny. Oh, you know, I've said this a million times, it's like the TMZ of the internet is YouTube hates Phil because Phil is this kind of person who sucks at games, so let's all laugh at him collectively, right? Who cares what I'm doing in my private life? Who cares if there's a game that I sucked at? It shouldn't be big news, but they turned the most negative one-sided shit into like drama, popular drama. And that's what happened with me is through the years of 2012 through now, is that people have become popular drama to make fun of me on YouTube. And that's not productive. There's a difference between constructive criticism that I can take to improve and literally just trying to fucking hurt someone. And I will say this, okay? I will say this.
Here it is, folks.
By no means do I think that I am a flawless person. I would be the biggest, most ignorant, hypocritical, responsible. It is immoral. It is wrong. It is incorrect. And it has personally hurt me and my business. People have done to me on the internet. All right? And as of right now, I'm laying down the fucking law.
Oh, he's laying down the law.
If you want to give me legit criticism, go for it. I am never going to reject a legit criticism. But from this moment on, I want everyone who's watching this video to listen up and to please give this a shot. When you see someone on Twitter saying some shit about me, responding like in a really nasty fucking way to something that I said, when you see a ridiculously one-sided slanted video on YouTube of stuff, gee, they took a quote from here and a quote from there, and they're working this negative case against Phil, right? I want you to say, Phil almost died. Phil could have been shot to death by these people. Not to say that the people who are making that video or making that tweet are the ones who did this today and swatted me. But those people inadvertently contributed to it. Because the bottom line is, in 2012, when this whole negativity movement started, people loved me. They thought, wow, Phil is a good person on YouTube, and he makes gameplay videos, and he's been here since 2008. He did it for 2 years before he ever made $1 doing it, and people absolutely love his content. All of a sudden in 2012, when people started, oh, let's do this, let's make funny montages of Phil failing, the whole internet changes and goes against me, right? Was there a moment when I said, did I come out here in full, you know, some kind
Again, folks, this man is not unhinged. Just to let you know.
Meta, this is how you don't play about
here it
me.
is, here
If
it
you
is.
ever decided to follow me, make a clone account on Twitter, do this childish shit on YouTube, if you thought it was funny to dox me, if you thought it was the DDoS attacks were funny, you almost got me killed. You. Yes, you. You're responsible. And if
There you go, folks. That's what I wanted to hear. That's right. If you've ever made a video, this is how you don't play a detractor video, and like the video, you, sir, contributed to Phil being almost murdered while he was swatted. That's right. Okay, folks. I just wanted to show that clip because I just love exposing DSP when he lies, and this is just another blatant lie. It's another retcon of his, and I'm glad he finally exposed the truth that what he claimed back in 2015 was nowhere near remotely as severe as he claimed it was. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Man, Phil, you're scumbag, brother. Peace out. And by the way, Swatting is bad.